Yeah. Two. Yeah. Aye.
Got over money.
I'm jacking the beat, you calling the cops. The yapping is cheap, I call you the ops. The rapping is hating, it's all cause of pop. You get a leak for the ball, get a drop. Feel like I'm wrong when I double it back, cause I'm making it harder to catch that. But I covered the ticket, I call you to visit. You tipping and hit up the cash app. Baby girl, been around for it. Yeah, in the old days, I was stuck in old ways. Never really trying to flip the old page. Young man tripping at an old age. Thinking eyes flicking, had a low wage. Led the bro days, then a slow praise. Thinking it'd be different, it would gon' change, then it really didn't. It's a cold game. Yeah, hey, all I really wanted was the money in the pocket. Got over money, but the money ain't a topic. Like Bill Doe and the money gotta stop it. Kid need food and the whip need juice. I'ma get these views when the
What's good, baby? It's your boy Dale. I'm back in the saddle again. Our motto is to buy, build. We already bought it already, so we already own it, free and clear. Refinance to long-term debt, cash flow. That is the motto. Cliff, man, is that a pretty strong motto, man? What do you think?
Man, the model is strong. Like, you're getting each piece of the invest, right?
What it do, baby? It's your partners Dale and Cliff back in the saddle again, guys, for another Real Estate Live Friday training, guys. You know what we're gonna say every time. Take the damn picture for your mom and Cliff. I mean, I'm liking that hat, dog. Ooh, that thing kind of clean, baby. We see you, dog. We see the hat, baby. What's that? Them Saints?
Oh yeah, man. You know I gotta represent New Orleans, man. You know we having a terrible season. All y'all Saints fans who know, y'all feel my pain on that. Man, we just paid a quarterback $40 million. Can't do nothing, but still got pride for the team though.
Yeah, it's all good, man. But them Cowboys, though, man.
Yeah, I
Rick
see you.
looking good, Rick. No, it's all good. I'm not
Yeah.
delusional. I understand y'all. Right now, we look good. Hey, I'm a reasonable Cowboy. Until I see something different, we ain't going to Super Bowl every year. That's one thing about it, guys. When it comes to the Cowboys, man, we say every year, not we. Now, I don't say that. I don't say that at all. Not at all. But we say we'll say we're going to Super Bowl this year. I'm like, no, we're not. Please, it's not happening. Stop the cap. So, but that's what's going on, man. But Cliff, man, did we get the bag? Did we get the bag, man? Did we get the bag this week, brother?
Man, it's what we do every week.
We got the bag, y'all. But y'all, man, we got some closings coming up in the next couple of weeks, man. We're trying to get 3 properties closed before Christmas. We'll see how it go. Not us. It's people. This is part of real estate. Cliff, man, real fast before we get into the current market analysis. How often does title companies or appraisers slow down deals?
Oh man, they are the reason it's slow. There's no other reason. You know, especially appraisers. I know that feeling. I know. So when I do my appraisals, I'm quick and I communicate.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's not always true in the industry. Everybody's got their own pace. I've had to on a property that I had actually cost me a rental. An appraiser
Wow.
cost me a rental one time because we needed him to make an adjustment because he said that there was foundation issues.
Yeah.
I said, there's no foundation issues. I went out and got my structural engineer, MBA, from Texas A&M to go out there and go, no, perfectly cleared.
Yep.
It's no problem. Send it to the appraiser and said, the lender needs you to write, hey, review the engineering report, looks good. Go through the numbers came cool. They just worry about the foundation. Anyway, this dude took over a month.
Wow.
And a month. And
wow.
By that time, different things changed. They couldn't close.
Y'all, I'll tell y'all real fast, guys. We don't tell you guys about the horror stories we go through when it comes to real estate investing. We are acquiring a small property. It's small, right, Cliff?
Yeah, smallest property I've ever done.
Yeah, ever done. But the ROI is great, right? We kind of created a model that way. And we got an appraiser, guys, that was so bad. This dude said the value of the property was the exact same value of the property if it was not renovated. I mean, just buffoonery. We had to get on the phone line and kind of have a discussion with this person to say, "Hey, man, this didn't make any sense." And Cliff methodically destroyed this guy. I mean, it was bad. I mean, Cliff, you were on the phone line, guys. Cliff said, "I'm a data guy," because Cliff is also a licensed appraiser as well. So it's good to have people on your team that can talk with other professionals that have licenses and talk that same language. If I spoke to the appraiser, it would have been a different discussion than Cliff talking to him, because Cliff and him share the same verbiage, same language, the same mentality. Cliff is more of a data-driven person. This guy was smuggling in his own assumptions. The smuggling them in. And Cliff, if three appraisers, right, appraise the same property, how many of those reports will come back the exact same?
Probably depends on the property, but most likely none. Man, this is the example I always give. A lot of y'all got rings or you got a watch.
Mm-hmm.
If you were to take that, let's say you got a nice Rolex, you got a nice one.
Yep.
If you took it to 3 different pawn shops,
Yep.
would they all offer you the same price for your watch?
No.
Probably not, right? It's the same thing with the appraisal, because
Yes.
each pawn shop is going to have their value that they think they can resell it for, that they're willing to pay for it. It's
Exactly.
for an appraisal. Everybody's got their opinion on what they think the market is saying for the value of the property.
Cliff is correct. He just said it correctly, guys. An appraisal is just someone's opinion. That's all it is, which means the appraiser's opinion could be different than your opinion. You have to plan for that. That's why we kind of plan for. We were playing we playing really super conservative, but that did not at all absolve us from getting into contact with those. I call them doofless appraisers. Dumb. It is not. So we have to have conversations with them as well also. So, I mean, Cliff is right. Title companies, realtors, appraisers, they will slow down your closing process. Be okay with that. That's part of real estate investing. Am I right, Cliff? Or am I wrong?
Yeah, I mean, anytime I call them people problems. I got. It's like, what's wrong? What's going on? I got people problems.
Yeah.
Somebody is just like, I'll give you an example. The property we got under contract. I've been trying to get our inspector in the property for days now. The realtor is missing in action.
Gone.
Can't find her. Finally, this afternoon, was able to get in contact with her. I'm waiting on information. She's like, I got to go to the office. That is a people problem.
People problem. He's right. He's right, guys. Now, Cliff, how do you normally get over that people problem? How you normally get over that?
I mean, usually I try to be the conduit. What can I do to help move it? If you need something, come through me. Let me see what I can do.
Yes.
On the lending side, man, you really at the mercy of the lender.
Yes.
There's not a lot that you can do there. The lenders they're very strict. They're the ones with the money. They're very strict. Even on the appraisal side, I'll get calls from the lender being like, how'd you come to this? We don't see that. This is the lender.
Yes.
So they'll sometimes be able to voice their opinion on if they see something that's out of characteristic for that neighborhood or the property. So the best thing you could do in any transaction is just, try to be available.
That's it, guys.
Try to help the process.
That's all you can realistically do is to be available, guys. And so this is something that kind of came off my dome a little bit real quickly. And because we go through this every single day. We get on a phone call and we're like, this is just crazy. So we have two options. We can either get upset and angry and ruin a potential relationship, or we can say, okay, as Cliff said, these are people problems. How are we going to solve these people problems? This is when politicking comes into play. Having the gift of gab, being able to reason together. At times, me and Cliff, we disagree on structure of deals. New realities come up, and he and I actually have good conversations. Why? Because we can reason together. That's how we do it. Am I right, Cliff?
Yeah, I mean, it's like working with anybody. You just got to make sure that you are taking everything into consideration.
That is it, guys. That is it. Cliff, man, let's pivot over a little bit, man. What are you seeing in the market from an appraisal standpoint? What are you seeing, brother? Holler at the people.
Man, it's crazy what I'm seeing. It's almost like when the Fed talks, the market listens.
Mm.
I'll start off with this. What I'm seeing in our market right now is already a jump in volume, like already. Simple.
What price point? What price point are we talking about?
I'm saying like probably lower end 300 to 400,000.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
like just as an example, I've had 3 firms reach out to me that haven't talked to me in 7 months because of the slowdown.
Wow.
But all of a sudden, 3, quick,
Wow.
right? Because people are seeing that drop in it because the interest rates just dropped. So if you were on the sideline, you were thinking about it, you just got pre-qualified, and you saw the rate drop, you're moving.
Yeah. People are listening to the Fed. The Fed is really in my opinion, a PR agent. They're in the business of controlling how you think. You know what I'm saying? And so how much was the drop, Cliff?
Man, at the peak, we saw, I think it got up to 8, 8.5, almost 9.
Yeah.
Now it just dropped below 7. We're seeing
Below 7.
6.8.
Okay.
We're seeing 6.8, 6.9.
Forgive me, guys. Sorry about that. I'm still dealing with some allergies. It's all good. It is what it is. It's real time. So, yeah, 6.7 right now. Cliff predicted that first quarter next year, and I kind of agree with him, that they're going to begin cutting. He said because they have to. I kind of agree with him as well because of the fact that the Fed is they are a PR agent. They're in the business of controlling the masses mentality when it comes to money. That's what they're doing. That's why they raise rates, as Cliff said, to slow down the market. Now they're going to try to cut those rates, and it's not going to be like a 3 or 4 or 5% cut. It's going to be maybe quarter of a point, half a point, another quarter of a point. Because why? They want a soft landing, and it is an election season.
Yes, sir. Yep. I think they're going to do 4 quarter point drops.
4,
maybe
okay.
3, 4. So we're going to see maybe 2% interest rate and drop. So we're at 7
2.
now. We'll probably drop, or 6.7. We probably get down to 4.7. I think it's possible we'll be 5. I'm calling under 5.5. Let's say
5.5,
5.25
wow.
by this point next year. Mortgage rate.
Wow. You know now, how do you think that the market's going to react to a 5.5 rate?
I've been saying this for a while. The market's going to react. There are people going to jump back into the. So here's what's going to happen. People are going to jump. The buyers on the sideline. I talk to people all the time. Buyers, sellers, friends, family. I can't tell you how many people who are looking to buy. That's an example. I'm looking to buy. Dale, are you looking to buy?
Of course.
I got everybody else. I can't tell you how. I had a contractor hit me up. Great guy. We've done a couple deals. Had a good conversation. He's looking to buy.
Okay.
I'm like, so a lot of people who would have bought this year stayed on the sideline.
Yes, he's right.
The second we start hitting 5.75, that's going to be good enough that if somebody sees a property they like,
yes,
they are going to jump on that.
Now, are you seeing this uptick, man? When it comes to on the this is more of a retail analysis, or this is more of an investment below wholesale analysis, or both?
No, this is retail. Retail.
Gotcha.
But what's going to happen is it's not going to be a loosening of so the inventory of houses is still going to stay tight. It's not going to loosen up that much because there's too many. 75% of the mortgages are below 4%. So you're going
So
to
what
have demand increase, but inventory stay stagnant.
that actually makes some sense. So what you're saying, Cliff, is this here. You're saying that yes, some investors, not investors, but retail buyers on the sideline when there is a downtick in the interest rate is going to come off the sidelines. But the other side of real estate is normally you have a large amount of properties being placed on the market to be sold, right? And what you're saying is people are not going to want to let go of those 2-3% rates to go to a 5.25 or 6, right? So we're in the same boat that we're in now. There may be a little bit of movement, right? But there's not going to be any exponential movement. You agree or disagree?
Yeah, agreed. There's not going to be a major shift. If you have a mortgage under, I'd say 3.5%.
Sure.
They're never selling, and that's 33% of the market. 30%. Why, Dale? If you had a house right now, would you sit at 3.5?
Hell
You're
no. I'm staying put, brother.
you staying put or you renting?
Yes, sir.
That is,
Yes, sir.
if you need cash, I mean, you'll figure out something else to do. Maybe you get a second mortgage or something, but you're
Yeah.
keeping that first mortgage at
Heck yeah.
3.5%.
Yes, sir, doc. So that spells curtains for a lot of builders right now. Builders, the guys, new home builders right now, they actually have different paper than
Yeah.
other people. They're able to give out rates right now at a 4%, 3% rate right now. They can do that. Now by doing that, they're losing money.
Yeah.
They're losing money. So they're trying to lose money just to get off of these deals. And so why am I still looking to buy? I may want to buy new construction property. Why? Because in fact I have the cash and the credit profile to go out and get it accomplished. So I'm okay with paying the 5.25. I'm all right because I can negotiate a buy down rate to where I can get down to that 4.5, 3 or 4%. Easy. Does that make sense, Cliff, or no?
Oh yeah. If you can go to new construction, they're willing to negotiate with you right now. They need that inventory gone. They've
Oh
been
my
sitting
God.
on it. They are willing to make a deal if they can work it out with you. Man, yeah, the new construction. But what that does mean is that going forward, new construction is a gold mine.
Oh my God, it is, man, Cliff. We actually have my wife and I have an eye on a property around the corner from us, built by Grand Homes. I'm going to say the name because the property it was overbuilt.
Mm.
Someone from New York was building the property. Something happened, and the guy pulled out of the deal. Lost all his money on the deal. The property is overbuilt. It has a 5-car garage. Stupid, dumb as hell. Cliff, guess how long it's been on the market?
How long?
3 years. 3 years. They have been lying. That they began it at 2.1 million. I said, man, please. So out your head? No. Now it's down to 1.7. Then it went up to 1.9. So here's what they're doing, guys. Here's some game. What new construction builders are doing is they will put a property on the market. If it doesn't sell in a 90-day time frame, they'll take it off the market. Then replace it again at a higher price point to start over that clock for that buyer. They're trying to deceive buyers, retail buyers, right? To say property going to be on the market for 2 months. We actually walked the property, and the person lied and said, "Well, we just got finished building this property." I'm like, "Are you out your head? You built it 3 years ago. You lying to me." But they were playing that list take off, relist take off game.
Yeah, that's that. So that's part of the. But this is a little game we could put on. A lot of people don't know. Is that whenever you get a property that sits a little bit too long or was on the market, had an offer,
Yeah,
and now a stigma gets associated with that property. The
yeah,
next person that comes along says, "Why did that person? Why did they back out?"
yeah.
Unless you got a hot property,
Mm-hmm.
the next person is going to want less. Even if, and I've had this, I know this probably happened to you, Dale, where I put a property up, and this happens all the time in real estate. You put a property up for sale, someone walks the property, they don't like some part of the property for whatever reason, or their financing falls through.
Yeah.
Then you have to relist it. The next person that comes they want a discount.
Yep.
Even if there's nothing wrong with the property.
That's called buying and selling 101. That's normal in real estate, guys. That's normal. So we kind of began talking about the things that delay deals, then to deals that are actually coming, guys. Now let's dive into a well-known guy in real estate. His name is Grant Cardone. I actually respect this guy a lot. He owns $5 billion worth of real estate. He owns a lot of real estate. He buys a lot of Class A multifamily properties, which is fine. He's great at what he does. Phenomenal what he does. He went on Fox News, and he said, will America become a rental nation? Now, me and Cliff talked about the conditions now and what's going to happen in 2024, even with a rate cut. Now, Cliff, let's see what he says. You and I can then react to it, and then we can give our commentary on what's going to come. That makes sense to you?
Yeah.
All right, let's get it in. Here we go. Let's get it in, guys. Here we go.
Are real home buyers and sellers alike feeling a massive struggle to close deals or make money? And if you need yet another sign of turmoil, 45% of U.S. real estate agents are struggling to pay rent on their offices. Here to react is private equity fund manager and real estate investor Grant Cardone. Welcome, Grant. So tell me, why are real estate owners and agents not able to pay the rent? What is going on?
Wow.
Well, because, Rachel, the Fed single-handedly has killed the housing market. The Fed will make more renters in this country in the next 2 years than it has in the last 50, because mortgage applications are at all-time lows. Mortgages are double what rent is today. And it doesn't surprise me that real estate agents are feeling the brunt of this. Back in June of 22, Jerome Powell said that the middle class, everyday people, would disproportionately feel the pain of higher interest rates in his attempt to control inflation. He has not controlled inflation. He has failed miserably. What he has actually done is create it, and in the meantime, stop the housing industry.
What would you...
Cliff, now, right there, let's stop right there. What do you think with what he's saying? Do you disagree with him or agree with what he's talking about?
Man, I agree 100%. I'm going to say something. The Fed may be more important than the president, because the Fed affects your pocketbook more. If you don't believe me, just watch. Y'all are looking at how much money you paying for eggs? How much money you paying for gas?
Ooh, Cliff, man, unpack that a little bit more. How and why are you saying that the Fed chairman or the Fed as a whole is more powerful than the executive branch?
The executive branch is very strong when it comes to things for like war.
Yeah.
Things for pet projects here and there. But the Fed is imposing on you financial not regulations, but financial constraints.
Wow.
That you cannot overcome by just being able to outwork. You can't outwork an interest rate when they go from 3% interest rates to 9% in a year.
Yep.
And so what that does is it forces you to struggle. That is their goal. Their goal is for you to struggle. That's why you think this past year has been so hard. That was the intention.
He is spot on there. I agree with Cliff from that premise of the Fed having a lot more authority than the president does. Yes, the president does appoint the Fed chairman, but you have governors on the Fed as well. So the Fed chairman is he's just a CEO. That's all he is. He's the chairman. He's just the face. How you doing? Shake hands. There's governors that assist in making a decision with the chairman. Right? If you don't believe us, go to the Fed website. Go to it. Read about him. It's a very powerful entity. So I agree with Cliff. Cliff, let's keep going, man. Let's see what Grant talk about. Let's keep going, man. This crazy. Here we go.
What would you recommend he do?
Well, what he should do is get out of the way. There's no time in history in my lifetime that the Fed actually controlled interest rates. Supply and demand is what controls interest rates. As long as people are spending their money, that means they want that product or service. At what point it gets to a price where I no longer find it valuable, I will no longer continue to purchase that. And people want homes. People want to live in a single family home. I don't personally think it's a great investment. I've said that many, many times. I've gotten ragged out on it. But
all right, Cliff. Now he's very famous at saying that owning a home is one of the worst financial decisions you can ever make. You agree or disagree?
Both. I think it depends on the person. It depends on your. If you're just a regular let's say you got a good job, you're a pharmacist, great job, all that, and that's all you want to do.
Yeah.
Probably buying is smart because you 30 years from now it's going to be worth more. You can go ahead and sell it. But if you move around a lot and your job requires you to go from place to place, renting might make more sense for you than try to get locked up in one spot. Because if you're always renting, you never have any control of the property. You have to ask if you even want to paint a wall. And you don't get any upside. If the market goes up, you get no upside on that.
I agree with that, Cliff, with Cliff's premise as well. Is it really depends on your strategy. Now, most individuals will say owning a home is the quickest way for someone to begin to build wealth. I would say it depends on your strategy. It depends on your strategy, guy. It really does. Because of the fact that for me, like I could have bought a new property, guys, a residential property months ago. But in my mind, it didn't make any sense for me to buy a home right now because of the fact that I'm putting down 10, 20% down, right? Now, what I'm thinking is that's dead money. It's that I'm buying at retail, but it's dead money. So I can't put that money to work because it's parked in this property. And there's a huge potential for the value of said property to go down. Now, it may go up, which would be great. No problem with it at all. But I'm putting myself at risk of someone else's decision to drive the value of my property. Does that make sense, Cliff?
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, the problem is, like he said, the money, like I always say, when you buy a property, the money's not gone. It's just in the house.
Exactly.
But if you're living there for 30 years, that's more what you should think the money is more retirement. You're putting that towards retirement. But the problem is if you were to put that in other investments, you could get way more. You could probably split that money amongst 2-3 other rentals.
Really.
And them 3 properties would get you way more.
Way more money. Now, from a leasing standpoint, I think leasing is great. And I think that I kind of agree with Grant a little bit. I believe America is going into a rental nation because of the unaffordability of buying a home right now due to inflation, right? Everything is going up right now, which is fine because the government will not stop printing at all, no matter if it's a Democrat or Republican or independent in any office at all. They're going to continue printing this money. And number two, you have people manufacturing a pay raise by borrowing more on the credit card debt. We're over $1.4 trillion in credit card debt. That's the highest in American history. And then number three, people's incomes have plateaued, right? High-paying jobs are even not on the market at all. We keep hearing these job numbers come out. These are just jobs that were lost due to COVID. They're getting them back. So what I'm saying from an economic standpoint, it ain't looking too hot. And we ain't tapping into our most prized possession as a nation, natural gas and petroleum, at all. So I'm like, man, this is, for me, I'm like, I think it's wiser right now to lease a property, wait till the storm clears, because then you can buy that same property for probably 40% at a discount. Now that makes more sense to me. That makes sense, Cliff?
Yeah. I mean, next year, I think next year, around this time next year, it's going to be a great time to enter the market. Interest rates will be lower. There might be a little bit more competition.
Yeah.
But hopefully, there'll be a couple more houses on the market. But yeah, what's interesting is looked at a property today, and it was genius. I didn't even think about this. The guy that did it he did the same as they say. What do they call house hacking?
Okay.
he did the same thing. He bought a duplex, or he
Yeah.
built a duplex.
Yeah.
But what was genius is it's a luxury duplex.
Ah.
So the house is nice. I mean, it's 20-some, almost 3,000 square feet. It's
Yeah.
modern.
Yeah.
It's clean. And
Yeah.
I'm sitting there thinking, and he's renting out the next door for $3,500 a month.
Yes.
And I'm sitting there, and I
Brilliant.
look at the numbers, and I'm going, he's living in style, nice backyard, nice everything, because it's a luxury luxury duplex, and he's still getting the rent on the other side. I was like,
So is it safe to say the rent is covering the debt service? So he's living for free.
I think it's like 89, 90%. So it's
Damn near free.
like $500, something like that.
Nothing. That's nothing for him, guys. This is what we mean by this, guys. There's gonna be so many deals coming up, guys. So many deals coming up. Now let's finish with Grant, and then we're going to creative finance real fast. Here we go. We're almost done with Grant.
But he should step aside, get out of the way, let the market do its thing. Interest rates will have to come down.
You said it, Cliff.
In order for pricing to come down.
That's right.
This is actually a contradiction to what most people think. But when interest rates come down, mortgage applications will go up, and people will start selling their homes.
Yeah.
Well, the World Economic Forum had this famous commercial where they talked about the Great Reset, and they said, you will own nothing and you will be happy. And you're seeing that happening. You're saying that we are becoming a renter nation. I say it's by design. Explain what you mean by it.
The rents in this country, the average rent, as much as people complain about them, we have 12,000 units. The average rent's about $1,800. And as much as they complain about it, the mortgage on a similar home in that same neighborhood would be double that.
Wow.
Plus insurance, plus a PMI, which is mortgage insurance on the mortgage itself. So it's unaffordable for people to own a home today. And that means you will rent, you will literally own nothing and be happy about it.
I agree.
Now, the apartment complexes that are being built today provide such crazy great amenities that it is actually, for new generations of people, it's actually an alternative that's not economic, but actually desirable for them to actually live someplace for 10 or 24 months at a time rather than hunker down for 30 years.
Yeah. Well,
I kind of agree with him concerning the rental. Rents are a lot cheaper right now than PITI and PMI. So I kind of shake hands with him there. He's more of a class A multifamily person, which is fine. No problem with it at all. He buys a lot of these on retail or just below retail. Me and Cliff, we like buying class B minus C plus at a discounted price point and then increasing the value of properties. Would that be right, Cliff, or am I off?
Yeah. We have different models. Grant Cardone, what he really does is he's very good at raising capital.
Extremely good at it. My God.
That's what he did, because Class A, there's not really a lot of equity there. You're not really getting a big discount. But what he's doing is, because it's such a great property, he knows in 5 to 8 years it's going to go up in value. And when you're buying at $30 million and it goes to 37, $7 million, everybody makes money. And along the way, they're only getting 5, maybe 4% returns. Month to month. But
he's paying 10. He's paying 10.
I'm thinking he may have some other properties offsetting it, or maybe he's finding a decent enough B plus, A minus class to pull that off. Or the other thing I'm seeing is he's counting the sale of the property into the returns.
He is.
So he's giving you actually maybe 3, 4, 5% return, but then once you sell it, it becomes 10%.
He could be doing that as well, also, because he does a lot of acquiring and then refinancing to pay a lot of his investors off. A lot of his investors just reinvest with him again because they're getting great returns. They're getting great returns. I got to give it to him. He's a great private equity investor. He really is. I kind of do the same thing a little bit as well. Me and Cliff do, but on a smaller scale. I disagree with him when it comes to single-family residences. I think single-family residences, from an investment standpoint, is a great investment. He won't touch them.
Yeah, and I understand because he's right. Going back to what he's saying, there is going to be a renter nation.
It will.
Here's a couple data points.
Hmm.
People are living longer.
Yes.
More people are single
Hmm.
longer.
Hmm.
People are having less kids.
Yes.
Where I just described as a renter,
Hmm.
those numbers are going up.
Yes.
So more people are falling into a renter category because a single family home is mostly a family home.
Yes.
So if more people are single with no kids, they don't need a family home.
He's correct. And
So
and typically, Cliff, the next generation after you and I, our kids, they don't want a single family residence with a front and backyard. They want a uptown house or condo, two levels. You know what I'm saying? Or 3 levels, no backyard or small backyard, and a small front yard, or no backyard at all and a small front yard, so that you actually have more homes. I know in Richardson and City Line they built homes by State Farm just like that, and they sold like crazy, and they were younger buyers.
when I do my appraisals, I'm seeing who's buying these $600,000 townhomes,
Yes.
$800,000. It's young professionals,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
great paying jobs, probably 25 to 30.
Yes.
Make great money. They're the
Yeah.
ones who are buying those uptown, very nice, where they're stringing them together. Where they put 15 on a block.
Yes.
And they townhomes, they're real nice, but there's, like you said, no backyard. There's an opportunity there with new construction in smaller towns to do
Yes.
to
Yes.
string those together if you can do it.
He's right about that, and it really depends on the area. Like if you go to more of a Starkville, a Columbus, they don't. And if you go outside of the city limits, really on the county side, they like single family residences with front and backyards. They love that. But if you go more into the town of Starkville, they like them, but it's kind of a mixture of what I call high rises or those condo style properties and SFRs with front and backyards. It really depends on your area. Know your area. Know it.
Yeah, but he's right that I think you're going to see more. It's going to be great for landlords and multifamily. I think a multifamily might be the number one greatest investment.
Mm.
I,
Mm.
Dale, you may want to tell me what's the downside. Let's say you're Grant Cardone and you own just 3, and you own 3 B+ class properties. Let's say at least 100 units. What's the downside if you're in an okay location?
Very little, if none, because of the fact that inflation works well for multifamily. Because a lot of these creative financing deals, people cannot sell their homes because of job transfer, right? They can't afford payment anymore because due to inflation as well, loss of job as well. So what happens is they want to get out of these properties. That's why creative financing, those owner finance and seller finance is subject to. Those are great deals coming. Now, at the exact same time, guys, I'll tell you this, that typically when they exit the single family residence, what do they go to? They don't go to another home. They go to what? Apartments, multifamily, and so they come right home to Papa. So I'll get their home and also get their new home because I own an apartment complex and they also the home as well at the exact same time. It's real simple, guys. It's understanding how to be creative when it comes to these deals. Real estate is about solving someone's problem. That's it. Be quick to hear, so to speak, so you understand what the true need is. Then you can buy as many properties as you want, whether it be multifamily or single family residence. If you agree or disagree.
Yeah, it's man, just playing the game that's built. Because what we've learned is man, pay attention to this. This is a big lesson. We've gone to 2 major events. 2008 was the greatest event since the Great Depression.
Yes.
We went through a pandemic, a once in 100 year. That's 2 of them. We went through 2 100-year situations in 10 years. And what happened in both? We printed money. We
Mhm.
bailed out banks. That is the standard. That is you can take that to the bank. You know what I'm saying? We are going to print, buy assets. As many as you can get your hands on, cash flow them, and keep going. They have no choice. We must inflate our problems away. I knew this was going to happen. I sent over to Dale earlier this week. I told y'all last week, I mentioned Redfin. I mentioned Zillow.
He did.
If you go look at the values, they went up. I think I said it to you, 16%.
That's
I
right.
believe was Redfin. Had y'all listened to what I said, you could have made 16% in a week. I called it the week before. Go back and take a look.
This is, guys, we don't operate off of theory. This is not something we read in the book, heard in a seminar, right? On some webinar at all, period. We do this every day to feed our families. Cliff is an active investor, an active general contractor, an active licensed appraiser. I'm an active private equity investor, an active real estate investor. We own millions of dollars worth of real estate. This is not a theory. These are facts. So you're welcome to follow it or not, because it's up to you. It's your dollars. But Cliff said it best. They have to continue to print the money. They're going to have to inflate the debt away. Why do you think they wrote out the Fed coin this past summer? It's coming. It is here. If you know what Fed coin is, guys, simple. Go to my Carnival podcast on any one of my channels, guys. Scroll down. You'll see an episode on Fed Now. I'll go into deep detail of what Fed Now is and how it's threatening cryptocurrency. They're coming. Yesterday, I did a Carnival podcast on, guys, there's a case in front of the Supreme Court right now. It's called Moore versus the United States government. The Biden administration right now is trying to redefine what the 16th Amendment says about income. It's about taxes. They want to tax your unrealized gains. The definition of income is for money that comes in and you make a profit. It's income, right? You take the money. They're trying to tax the unrealized gains, which means the appreciation of your real estate, your art, your stocks, your bonds, your retirement accounts. They're trying to redefine what the 16th Amendment says about income. It's in front of the Supreme Court right now. You are one decision away from them redefining what income truly means.
It's a race to the bottom. That it makes no logically it makes no sense. Just take a house. Some of y'all may own a house. You own a house. If you own a house and you say you own it free and clear, it's worth $500,000. If the government came to you and said, "Hey, we're going to tax you 10%," you need to write a check for $50K. If you ain't got it, you have to sell the house to pay taxes on the house they're taxing you.
Yes. Now watch this now, Cliff.
That don't make any sense.
You have to continue to pay the regular income tax, but they want to also tax you on the unrealized gains of your assets. And if the market goes down, guys, right, and you lose money on said assets, no refunds, baby. No, sir.
It makes no sense.
No sense at all, guys. This is right now in front of the Supreme Court. They're going to rule on it, I believe, by February of next year. It's in front. Look it up. It's Moore, Moore, versus the U.S. government. It is termed as a wealth tax. But get this, me and Cliff ain't paying none of that, because the wealth have a wealth strategy plan. I ain't playing, guys. Look it up. I ain't playing about it at all. They're trying to redefine the word income in the 16th Amendment right now. Right now. So, guys, when we're talking about creative financing and these deals and multifamily, these are ways for you to learn how we do business. We don't live off income. We live off of good debt, because debt cannot be taxed. That's why, Cliff, bro, when you buy a property for $20,000, right? The ARV is $100,000, right? You put 20 grand into it. You're 40 grand into the property. Are you going to sell the property or refinance at 75% to pay out the 40,000?
Refinance.
Why?
Because I can pull money out, keep it, cash flow it, put that money into another deal, and keep going. Because what I've learned is cash flow. Cash flow is the game. Because let's say I gave you $1 million. You got $1 million. Cool. What are you going to do? You have to invest it. That's the
Yes.
system. So when you have an asset, you don't want to sell that asset. You want to leverage that asset. Go get another one, leverage that. That's how the rich do it. They
Every time.
continue to own their assets. That's why the plan that we had put together was a way to be able to scale our assets so that we can continue to get cash flow off these properties for 15, 20 years, month over month.
Easy work, guys. That's what we're doing. Cliff is the expert at finding good deals. Good deals, right? I'm bringing the equity to the table, which is fine. And we have another party as well that handles the construction. Cliff, when the reason why Cliff is good at bringing those deals is because Cliff knows how to what? Pull values, determine scope of works. Where everyone has their role in the system. They have their role, guys. It's real simple, guys. And we're scaling the business. Why? We're maximizing our ROI, keeping the asset right, collecting cash flow, and paying zero in taxes at the same time. That's possible. It's possible.
Yeah, that's and there's not one rich person who doesn't own real estate because of this. Look up if you go look up Beyonce and Jay-Z, they bought a major property in California. I think it's the most expensive property in California.
Yes.
They bought it all cash and refied.
Up to what percentage?
I think they went to, I don't remember the exact, I think it was 60% or something like that. It was probably for taxes. They probably made a grip.
Brilliant.
Bought the property all cash and refied it. LaDale did the same thing. Financial advisors.
Yes, a friend of mine, Pastor David, did the exact same thing. He bought a property for $25 million. He put down 50% down, and borrowed 50% from Goldman Sachs. His property increased. I believe the value went from 25 to 40 million. So the money he put down, he's ought to earn it back in appreciation. So if he really wanted to, he could actually refinance another 25% and get all the money back if he wanted to. He didn't do that at all. He has plenty of cash. He's fine with it. But guys, it's the rich play the good debt game. That's what we play. All right, Cliff?
Yeah. And that's the trick is what can you use the money for to buy assets, right? Especially when you're starting off. When you're starting off and you don't have much, you got to start off with them basic properties that allow you to start leveraging to do more. And then once you get going, you can start scaling more. Because the game is to keep getting them assets, to keep getting you cash flow over time. Because again, and this is a simple trick. I think Robert Kiyosaki mentioned it. Go to the bank and say, hey, I know Google's going up. I know Apple is going up. Can I get 100K and let me go buy some stock? I don't go, nah, get out of here.
Yep.
But hey, I got a business, man. I'm selling widgets. These widgets are selling, man. I'm telling you, I need 100,000. Let me get started. They're gonna say no. Walk in and say, I have a great deal. The property's worth 200,000. I need $100,000 to do the deal. They're gonna say, let's write it up.
Yep. All day long.
Why do they do that? Right? Why? Because it's a physical asset with value.
Guys, that was a phenomenal example on why banks finance how they finance. That's a great example. A great example. Banks don't like stocks, bonds, mutual fund. Nope. No, sir. Business, nope. They like real estate because it's real. It's real. It's tangible. So if you screw up, they can cover their losses. Make sense? That's how it goes. But man, Cliff, you want to say anything else, man? Before we got in, we touched our masterclass today, man. A masterclass.
Yeah, man. We went in, man. Just good information. So, man, same thing every week. You know, you only need one deal to change your situation.
One deal. Man, Doc, well, Cliff, thanks so much, man. I'll holler at you, man, after we get off of here, man, real quickly.
All right.
But, man, God bless you guys, man. Every Friday at 5 p.m. CST, you see Cliff and I here, man, get in there with you guys, man. We probably going to take off because I think next week is what? Is next week, Chris? 22nd?
Yeah,
we'll probably still do the 22nd, which is fine. But, man, we're going to take a couple of days off, which will be fine, guys. But, man, we're very active in the market. Very active in the market. But, guys, that's all we had to say, guys. Before you leave, you know how we end it every time. Before you leave them while you can. You see that thing. Take the damn picture. And I see Cliff and that new hat he got on. I see you, baby. And holla at your partner, guys. All right, guys. See you next time, guys. Peace.
God give thanks. Whoa. Bless God, give thanks. Bless God, give thanks. Whoa. Bless God, give thanks. Whoa. Big God, big grace. Whoa. Big God.